Χριστός Ανέστη. Λυπάμαι που λόγω
Christ has risen. I regret not being present there today because of my absence abroad. During these few minutes, I will try to examine with you how the cyberspace can become another trial of persons apart from the other trials we have to be subjected to during our lives. And I think we all agree that the cyberspace and the internet are very important tools nowadays, and a lot of good purposes that contribute to the well-being of people and to communication between people and to the dissemination of the Word of God. And a lot of these purposes are achieved through the internet. What my presentation will focus on is to see how the internet can become a risk, a hazard for persons in questions that are not directly related to its content, that is, when it transmits bad behaviors. There, its influence on people is obvious, and we can all see that. What my presentation wants to focus on includes the following. Let me remind three basic values that are connected to humans and are connected to the internet and are influenced by it. Humans are created in the image of God and are characterized by three basic features to a limited degree that God has in absolute form. God is social and has given a social character to people, is free and has given freedom to people, and is love, agape, and this is why God made people love. As regards the internet, the social nature has been intensified by the internet because the internet puts in contact people that wouldn't be able to communicate otherwise, that are located on the other side of the planet. It facilitates the dissemination of ideas and also offers the possibility to people to communicate at a lower cost between them, located in different places. The social nature, the contribution to the social nature of communication by the internet can be seen because we can see that the situations can be created with our physical presence is not possible. That is, the physical friends are substituted by internet friends, and in the internet you may have thousands of friends, and you may think that you communicate with them in this way. This kind of replacement may have negative consequences, may lead to a complete isolation of persons from one's real friends, and you may thus live for a long time in the illusion that you communicate with friends on the internet, friends that are not characterized by real friendship. In this way, people risk losing themselves in fiction and lose the possibility to practice in what friendly relations really include, because friendly relations are a kind of practice, and we are all called upon to shape our difficulties and find a point to really engage in friendship with others. There are people that base themselves solely on the internet to inform themselves about the church, and they may thus think that they know everything about the church, but they do not have close contact, close communication, personal communication with people, and thus they risk losing themselves and believing that they know how the church is. Um, People are thus unable to contribute to the church in their physical presence. They may participate in internet, in online liturgies, but they are not physically present in the church, and in that case, specific aesthetics are necessary. In this way, we can see that the divine gift of social communication, that is the trend of humans to come in communication, into contact with others, may be limited by the bad use of the internet. Whereas people may be convinced that they have become more sociable through the internet. The second characteristic is freedom. We always try to progress in freedom, and if we want to look at it from a theological point of view, reference is not made to choices, and this is not, of course, to be ignored. This is why we welcome all actions giving more freedom to people as citizens or in other capacities. That is, the possibility to self-determine themselves, but from a theological point of view, freedom also has another level. Apart from the possibility of free choices, reference is made to spiritual freedom, where people are also free in depth. The situations that lead persons to this situation and make people become unfree are passions. And how is the internet related to this problem? The internet is related thereto because it can create addictive behaviors. In our era, addictive behaviors have considerably increased. They have increased because the objects offering the possibility to become addicted from by them with all the consumer goods and a lot of other factors have increased, and they have also increased because of the technology. Um, Thus, we have people that gets addicted to the internet, to the cyberspace, but also to electronic games outside the internet, but they are also digital. And our country is at the top of addictions of young people from the internet and electronic games. According to recent studies, we have found that Greek youth ranks fourth as to the addiction to the internet and electronic games. The first three countries are in the far east. Where all households are connected to the internet. Greece does not have the same penetration by the internet, but is the first country in internet addictions in Europe, and this calls upon us to take action to help young people not to become addicted to the internet. To my mind, the low index of readership is also a problem. Young people do not read, and this is why they become all the more addicted to the internet. So, let me come back to the lack of freedom. Through the internet, you can become addicted to different harmful behaviors, such as the bad use of sex, the purchases that are done through the internet. But apart from the addiction itself, there is also the problem of the addiction to the internet, even when someone does not deal with misconducts, internet misconducts. Even if the occupation people have is positive, you may have these misconducts. That is, you may have a negative behavior even if your purpose is a noble one. What is necessary and what must be emphasized is that the people are harmed if they lose their freedom. That is, if the internet stops being a tool and becomes the boss, the chief that governs us, and then people are led to it. Moving away from reality and from what promotes human behavior, and the human behavior can be promoted through contact and communication with other people. The third feature of humans is their ability to love. The bad use of the internet, of the cyberspace, may influence our ability to love. And this may happen if people do the following through the internet. First of all, they have access to goods and properties in such a way that they forget these goods. So there may be, for example, excessive consumerism. They tend to care only about the enjoyment they get from this action, and the enjoyment is lower than love. And of course, even if enjoyment is not bad in itself, if people get trapped in it, then they forget to rise up to the higher level, and they get trapped in enjoyment, believing that enjoyment is synonymous to joy. Thinking that this joy is related to love. There are also occupations that do not allow us to love. Love may disappear if you get trapped into your own fictitious world and you don't have any time for the others. Even if you are with the others and with members of the family, you are elsewhere. You're not able to love because you feel that your physical presence is in the internet, and life becomes a kind of a break between the moments that someone passes in the internet. So as we can realize, in all these three capacities of the person, the internet may be disastrous. And in this way, it may become an additional occupation of a person. And vis-a-vis the different trials we are subjected to during our lives, the internet becomes another alert situation that makes us remember that we shouldn't lose God from our eyes. Thank you.